Hello, welcome to Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DDO stream. I'm your community manager, Kurt Oven. I'll be with you for the next hour hanging out. I'm going to be doing some questing ahead of next week. Well, next week is our big week, is it not? Because next Wednesday we release Magic of Myth Draenor. We're hard at work getting our final build in place. Release notes are in process, and we just got a bunch of stuff that we've been doing this week and we'll be continuing to do through the first half of next week. Then we're going to launch it. Everything's going to go great, and we're all going to have a lot of fun. And so that's kicking off on Wednesday, Magic of Myth Draenor. But we got some things that we're doing before that to kind of bring up the hype just a little bit. We got a little bit of news. And then I'm going to be questing on my Chaosmancer, my Eladrin Chaosmancer on Sarlona. So welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. It has been a busy week. Getting ready for Magic of Myth Draenor, but we're basically there. We just got to get that final build all rocking and rolling and checked out in the coming days. We'll have the downtime, we'll have the release notes, and then we'll have, of course, the expansion as well here in the near future. So, how are y'all doing here today? I wanted to go off topic, however, just briefly for the start of the show. It's D&D related, but not DDO related. And that is, in this past week, my D&D stamps showed up. And I've been so busy dealing with DDO and Lotro stuff this week, I just haven't had time to appreciate them. So I thought, what the heck, let's open these suckers up on camera and take a look at the D&D stamps together. How about? So let's see what we got. Oh, I see them. I see them in the package. That's pretty cool. Can I get it out? Here we go. All right. This is how it all shipped to me. It shipped, let me take this just in case it's got my address or something on it. It does. Okay. So this came in a little cardboard thing. Here's all the Dungeons & Dragons, the whole set of US stamps. How cool is that? I'm not going to mail crap with these things. These are going behind glass. That's what I'm doing. I'm not actually mailing these stamps, although I'm considering buying a couple more packages of them just to use for, I don't know, Christmas cards or whatever. People can have D&D Christmas card stamps for me pretty much forever. But I was like, I don't know, maybe $20, $21 or something for that sheet of stamps. And I'm just going to put it behind an 8x10 and hang it on the wall just for funsies. But how cool is that? I thought that might be fun to save for the start of the show here this Friday. So, quick question, Syax asks, when it comes to the Year of the Dragon rewards and VIP rewards, do you have to log onto each server to get them on that server, or will just one server do the trick? In terms of unlocking it on your account, typically you just need to unlock it on the one server and it works for everything. Now, there is a case, for example, with the dragon wings here, these blue draconic wings, where you'll unlock it by speaking to Zatharal in the Eberron Hall of Heroes, and then you'll speak to Estraz, who's standing next to Zatharal, to actually get the wings on every one of the characters that you want to receive it. But in general, one-time conversation will unlock it for your entire account. I did not get the UK ones, only because I just don't want to spend the money on it right now. I strongly considered it. I've heard the UK ones are at least as good, if not, some people like them better, and that's cool. So, all right, the main bit of news, the thing that you really do need to know about here for this weekend is we're doing a DDO bonus days blowout. This is hey, our expansion's hitting next Wednesday, so get everything done you want to get done for it before then, and here's some help. So we have got 10% Heroic and Epic XP, 10% Guild Renown, a +5 Treasure Hunter boost, +5% VIP XP, a +1% Strength in Numbers, including raids, so that's for non-VIPs up to a 5% or an 11%. bonus, depending if you're in a party or a raid group. And then if you are a VIP, you got that additional percentage point on top of it. Also, double Mysterious Remnants. Also, a Champion Hunter week to get all your stuff from the Mysterious Remnants vendor. And it's not just through the weekend. We're running it through Tuesday. We're running it basically until we bring the game worlds down to release Magicka Myth Drannor. So this is a, hey, we know some of you still want to get things done, maybe finish up that past life, maybe even knock out another one if you're fast enough. Whatever it is you got going on that you want to get done before Magicka Myth Drannor, our goal is to give you a nice set of bonuses that kicked off on Wednesday and that runs through next Tuesday. So, there we go. If there's an issue with the display of the hireling in terms of class, we may have to get that fixed. I don't think I remember seeing anything about that in update 69. I thought we had that fixed from 68.2, but I think that was just a typo and spelling fix rather than a class icon fix. So we'll have to get that one corrected, but it ain't a blocker bug. All right, so we do have the expansion arriving August 14th, so now's the time to get in on it if you're not in already. You can find out more about our Myth Drannor expansion and pick it up in the DDO market. You can find out all the features about it, all 13 of the quests. We've got a raid that's coming out afterwards, but the quests are coming out right away along with the wilderness area. We got loot, we got the level cap going up to 34, we have new feats, and a whole bunch of good things happening in the world of Dungeons & Dragons Online this next week. Also, reminder, I talked about the blue draconic wings, but you do have time to pick them up, but you do need to pick them up. So you've got through August 27th to do this, so a couple weeks yet, but pick up the latest Year of the Dragon gift for the blue draconic wings, and like I said, you'll speak to Zathrall, then speak to Estras to get it on your characters. For sales, I would just quick mention that we do have the plus 20 Heart of Wood available. That's a limited time availability item. You'll get a bonus plus 5 Heart of Wood with your purchase, and that's available in the DDO store through August 15th. Otherwise, it's our Dress to Kill sale for 25% off Mirrors of Glamoring, bypass timers, most cosmetic outfits, hats, helmets, hair dyes, and that's through the 15th as well. And I think that is the news. I can't think of anything else to mention here. I was just talking to Severlin, our executive producer, a little bit before the show. He wants to come on sometime in the coming weeks to do a Q&A, tell you a little bit about what we've got planned. So I would expect to see him showing up within the next few weeks. But obviously, we're going to be running Magicka Myth Drannor in the stream here for the foreseeable future. But for now, I have some work to do on my current stream character. I have had this character that's been very slowly leveling up since the release of Update 68, the Eladrin Wild Mage. And so I've been finally putting in some work this week on it. I've got this character up to level 7. I ran through the Saltmarsh saga. We were seeing a little bit of that on last Friday's show. And for this week, I've been running through Feywild, and I have one more quest, 2 if I don't use my VIP skip, but I'm going to, on the saga, and the only one I have left to get here is Wake Me Up Inside. So I thought we would start by running Wake Me Up Inside on the live stream, and do that. I could do the final quest, but I'll probably be running this chain again on Legendary, and I figured I would just save Immortality Lessons for that, especially since I've got a VIP skip for the saga, which is really the main reason I've been kind of running this. Also, just to get a little bit fresher loot.
At first, things seem as before. You're still at Winwood Hall, and Melody is still standing beside
Wake Me
the
Up
bed.
Inside is a cool song.
Then you
I can't say I'm
realize
a
that Lord
big
Arden is
Evanescence
missing,
fan, although I
and
think
so
that
are
they're
the
very
flower and
talented.
the loot you need for the ritual.
But that song I really like. That song is really good. Let me bring in my hired help. I've got a rogue and a cleric here to back me up. I should be running, honestly, I should be running lower level stuff.
The flower missing. The only clue you have is to speak with Melody, the apothecary. Perhaps she can explain this strange turn of events.
Okay.
With the loot and the flower missing, the only clue you have is to speak with Melody, the apothecary. Perhaps she can explain this strange turn of events. With the loot and the flower missing, the only clue you have is to speak with Melody, the apothecary. Perhaps she can explain this strange turn of events. With the loot
Oh
and
no,
the flower
got a
missing,
little bit of a
the only clue
loop
you
action
have is
happening,
to
huh?
speak with Melody,
Alright,
the
so where's Melody?
apothecary.
Why am I not seeing
Perhaps
Melody
she
here?
can explain this strange turn of events.
Where is Melody? Google, where is Melody? Next to the bed. Do I just not... Oh, there, okay. I see why I don't have this yet. I must, there we go. Alright.
Melody begins speaking in a familiar voice.
Lord Arden's true name? Of
The
course I
hatchery.
know it, but it's for me to know and for you to never get. Now, be a good adventurer and die to monsters in the wilderness. While I
like that so I've been watching the Olympics on in the background during a lot of the questing that I've been doing in DDO over this past week. And it's been kind of fun. These chaos balls feel a little bit like, oh, I don't know, a shot put or something like that. They feel somewhat Olympian in my mind.
This isn't a Feywild. You are trapped inside a dream.
I'm not trapped inside of a dream. The dream is trapped inside with me.
You approach a shadowy form that appears to be Lord Arden, reading a note with a worried expression on his face. The figure doesn't notice your presence.
I mostly have just been playing on Sarlona here because it's been a little while since I did so. And I don't have a being I reincarnated a while back, and hadn't really gone through the process to level and gear him up. But I wanted to get, my main goal is to get being ready here for Mithrandir to run on Heroic. If I can't hit 13 by Wednesday, I am only level 7 right now, although I probably can if I've got time this weekend to do it. And these bonuses are going to help. But if not, I can always run it on Legendary on one of my other characters. But I kind of wanted to run the Heroic version here on next Friday's show. And just start going through all that as a way to level up and get some heroic gear and what have you.
Underneath the bridge. Moving closer, you see a nasty-looking troll guarding the missing loot. Bits of troll and drops of its blood splash into the river as the battle progresses. The bits grow rapidly into new bridge trolls that join the fight.
Mostly, in some ways, I've been treating my wild mage here a little bit like I was playing my light spec Dark Apostate, and by that I mean I'm really focusing a lot on the just kind of easy, quick, low-cost SLA damage. It's been really useful, and I really like the Chaos Bombs. I'm currently lacking in some alignment spell power. I have a little bit, but that'll be getting boosted up here pretty quickly once I level up a little bit. I've got some gear kind of waiting.
In Inside the magically sealed gazebo ahead floats the frosted cerise unit for the ritual. 3 bears rest outside. Magical talking bears, no doubt. This is the Feywild, after all.
But I do have electric loop I've picked up as well for some nice AoE, even if my electric spell power is kind of junk. I do. So I actually play. I think it's probably fair to say that I have mostly been playing on Orion in recent years. But I do have characters in other worlds, and I had been playing the Dark Apostate and my Frenzy Berserker on Wayfinder and Armag on Kyber kind of a lot, really, in recent years, maybe to the point, maybe too much. And so the idea of having a kind of a new character in a new world that is built up and stream ready is really the goal of what I was doing here on Sarlona. Also, I used to play Bean a lot, back when I was running a lot more with Defense Guild back in the day. And Bean was my main swashbuckler back then. I liked that swashbuckler a lot, but, you know, I just, after so many years, when I was looking for who to wild mage, I was like, yeah, let's reincarnate ERTR Bean here. I also need to do some work on Argo. I have like 3 characters on Argo, including one of my favorites, Zentradi. But Zentradi is stuck also at low levels after an ERTR. I don't even remember what I was playing. Maybe a Vistani knife fighter or something like that? Either way, I need to do a little work there and get better gear and a more developed character on Argo. So perhaps that'll be the goal after Sarlona here.
A portal opens as the pixie collapses. In his last moments, he says,
I mean, for sure is a strong word, but most likely for sure is the answer. We have had no reason to believe that our August 14th date won't be hit. We are in the process of doing the final build and checking it out over the next couple of work days. So until it's formally signed off on by QA and such, there's always a chance. I mean, honestly, even on the deployment window, there's always a chance that something could theoretically screw up. But I think we're pretty solid for next Wednesday's release for Magicka Myth Trainer.
I should have seen that you can't trust the pixie to do a hag's work.
Cadence finishes her conjuration. Slimes emanating a frigid mist suddenly appear nearby.
You killed my sister, so I'll have to make do with these vile cauldron leftovers. I wouldn't go anywhere near them personally now. Be a dear and die for good this time.
So going on vacation is a lot of work. Taking time off and playing video games is not less so.
That's enough. You need what I have.
I've often thought about I should take just a vacation myself.
You've reluctantly decided to allow Cadence to live in exchange for Lord Arden's true name.
Beetle bomb. Alright.
You lay out the ingredients for the ritual and repeat the steps to reverse the curse. First, play the lute. Then, grind up the flower's roots. Last, burn the roots along with Lord Arden's true name. You play a brief melody on Hirsam's lute. You mash the flower's roots into a pulp with little effort.
Okay. I did the Bernie bit.
You set a small blaze, Then drop the crushed roots and Lord Arden's true name into it, completing the ritual. As the
Nice and
smoke
easy.
rises,
And there's
Lord
my
Arden's
Feywild
eyes
saga.
Open. He springs out of the bed. Lord
Yeah, looks like I
Arden
might
thanks
actually
you
have some
for
con
awakening
bracers
him from
too.
this
I don't think
curse.
I've got
He urges you
plus
to speak
4.
with him back at Winwood
Is
Hall
where I'm
in the
currently
Waking
getting my
World.
plus 4 charisma though. So I may have to swap out some gear before I put that on. It's true, a lot of developers do have sort of the first couple of weeks after an expansion is a good opportunity to take a couple days off to do whatever you've got planned, maybe with your family or vacations. Although I would also say that it's pretty common for us to do follow-up patches as well for expansions. So it's usually maybe a week after, if you know what I mean. Yeah, actually, there's my Con 4. And Radiance. Alright, I'll take that. Yep, 6 out of 6, so let me skip this one. And now I've got my Saga reward score. And I've got True Elite. I'm at the highest tier available. And I'm taking that XP for sure. Boink. Alright, so now what do I do? I just finished up Feywild. What did I actually want to run after that? I haven't decided. I was thinking about you know, I'm running up to CR8 quests because I'm doing it on Elite, and some of those were level 6. I'm only level 7, so just to save XP, I could actually be running level kind of 5 quests here, hardcore style. I wonder if maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, let me do that quick. I'm just going to run the Depths quest quick. That's nice and quick and easy XP. Well, the Saga stuff has been a way to do it. I know it's less... I think it's fair to say that it's maybe a little less fast to go through, say, the Feywild Saga versus some of the low-level harbor things that you could be doing in terms of getting XP more quickly. So I think I'll be stepping up my game and doing that this weekend. I may even have an LFM up, to be honest. I've considered, it's like, well, what if if I do have time this weekend, maybe I should just drop an LFM on Sarlona and kind of have a, hey, come and go as you want group and rake in some XP, because I could definitely get it done pretty quick. It's true, 2 of the Depths quests are level 4, so I would lose, what, 10% there. But they're so fast, it still wouldn't really matter. 3 BC, then Sentinels. Yeah. Okay, you're right. Maybe that is what I should be doing next, is 3 BC and Sentinels. I think that's a good idea. I'll pop into that here after the Depths quests are done. Let me bring out the chunky boy. These Depths quests are such easy XP, it's... There we go. Once I figure out which direction I'm going. Depths is bad XP per minute? Are you sure about that? Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't claim to be a min-max XP expert. I tend to kind of play at my own pace and enjoy the game. But I've been doing the Depths quest for years as just, oh, I don't know, what can I do to get myself X amount of XP in a very, very, very short period of time. I've always run the Depths quest for it. It's also easy favor. O. It's true, I'm also not doing a lot of Reaper running. Fire Caves? Yeah, yeah. Fire Caves has always been kind of a notorious XP grinder. It's a fine quest. I'm sure that sounds like a plan. This weekend I'll be running the 3BC Sentinels and Sentinels quests. Get that saga. Oh, I have the wrong item on. I actually had a caster stick I was using. What did I do with that? Huh. Maybe I accidentally sold it. I had some random gen caster item I was using, rather than a quarterstaff. Because it had, 59 alignment spell power on it. And that felt pretty good to me. No, I don't. I mean, I think people have been using Three Barrel Cove as a level up mechanism for a long time, and I think that's fine. I don't know that it's that crazy. I mean, fire caves might be kind of ridiculous, but it also takes a while to get to. It can be kind of a pain to get to, so I guess, you know, it's fine. Oh, did I just go around in a circle? I did. Okay. Nice going me. Alright. Yeah, I know how to run this quest. I run it all the time. Nerf 3BC XP. Like I said. No, I don't think so. I'm actually concerned. What happened to my... I think it's what... I must have accidentally sold my random gen mace I was pulling 59 alignment spell power from. Gonna get all the raids too? Well, that's the other advantage of doing some of the flagging I've done, is all through these sagas, not that Saltmarsh has a raid. But yeah, the intention is just partially to do that. Get it all flagged up. But at the moment, my goal is to hit level 13. That's what my main plan is to hit level 13. No, I probably won't skip challenges. I actually really, really like running challenges. I think it's an excellent way to... Oops. I think it's excellent XP. I usually save that for whatever the teens are. I think it's the teens. It's a good way to get XP. I'm not in a rush myself to just be level 4 right away. Especially, I think, you know, with our game being a little different than some other MMOs. I kind of like enjoying the journey as well. Like, it's cool being level capped and everything. And especially if you're getting past lives, you want the XP as quick as you can. But especially when we have new levels of XP and new quests, I'm not really in a super hurry to hit 34. It'll get there, and I'll have plenty of time to be level 34, so... Yeah, I figured if I get all the way up to 10ish or whatever this weekend, then I'll probably swap over and do Heroic Ravenloft as well. Because it isn't just about XP, it's also about items. That's part of the reason I'm not kind of doing the kind of low-B, easy, older quests that just get you tons of XP. Is because I could also stand to use some of the newer loot on Sorlona here. It's been a while since I got some fresh, good heroic loot on this server, so that's part of the reason I'm running, like, say, Saltmarsh and Feywild and what have you, is to, even if it takes a little longer to level up, I'm also getting some better loot. The other thing, though, other than getting ready for Myth Draenor and doing work for the other game that I've done this week, is I mostly have the DDO Discord ready to open. Mostly. The only step left is getting NDAs signed betwixt the legal team of Daybreak Games and us and the volunteer moderators of the Discord. Once enough people sign that thing, and I can get them on the Discord and kind of make sure they feel comfortable and ready to go, we're pretty much ready to open it. Last thing I was able to do yesterday was a bunch of just kind of writing in categories, and I also switched up our voice chat system. And if it works out, I'm very, very excited by it. Because what this voice chat system in the upcoming DDO Discord will do is dynamically create and remove audio channels in the DDO Discord. So what that means is, hey, I'm plugging, and let's head to the DDO Discord and get the, frankly, much better voice chat, voice capabilities, and text chat, and all that sort of thing. And we'll just pop over there. Here's a link to it. So you'll just click on the Create Voice Channel button. The channel will be created for you. You can drop a link in party chat or your own Discord or whatever, and people can just go straight to that voice channel, and it'll support however many people you got. And then when y'all leave, it degrades. It just disappears, and you can dynamically create as many as you want, at least as much as Discord will let you have. I don't know what that number is. Maybe we'll find out. But it's a really nice way to do it, and it definitely beats the kind of clunkier default method of just creating 100 different voice channels and being like, okay, join channel 67 or whatever. So it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. There was a plugin, an open source plugin that I was able to find for the DDO Discord to do that. But that's pretty much ready to go, and I'm very excited by it. I don't know that it's going to be done in time for the release of Myth Draenor, because even though it's basically ready, I can't do anything without that legal agreement signed. And for our reasons and theirs. And so depending on that, and then it's probably going to take a couple days to be like, alright, so this is how to moderate, and what have you. But I would expect we're a matter of days now, rather than weeks away for the new Discord. And if we can get it done next week, if I start getting these NDAs back from the Daybreak legal team that have been signed and everything, say Monday, Tuesday, we could be open by into next week, so that's cool. I don't know if it's going to be a minor thing or if it's going to be a big deal. But I feel that the DDO Discord has the potential to be mildly revolutionary. Because it's sort of like the forums, but it's like an IRC. So you can just sort of hang out with whoever's playing the game whenever you want to and be like, hey, I'm on Sorlona right now. I want to do this. Anyone around? Yeah, I'm here. Etc. And not that you can't do that already in world chat, but this I think will bring the community together, facilitate grouping, give you much higher quality voice chat in some cases, and just generally work really well. And then it's going to be a fun place to chat. So I also set up a system because I've brought in some testers, both in the public and private, in recent weeks to kind of kick the tires and make sure all the roles and permissions and visibility and everything is right. And the one thing I kept hearing from everyone was there's just too many Discord channels. You gotta cut that default list down because it was like a big old forum scroll, really. So what I've done is make it so that you choose which channels to see for servers and classes, because I had the full server list and the full class list, and then a section, say, for iconic heroes and multi-classing, similar to the way we do it on the forums. And I lost my train of thought all of a sudden. Oh, so you'll go into a Discord channel and you'll just issue a reaction, you know, click the thumbs up button, and it'll assign you a server visibility and or class visibility of whatever it is that you want, so. Hopefully, Cozy Bean will be there. Hello, Cozy Bean. Should be a fun Discord, though. I'm looking forward to seeing what all happens with it. Wait a second. Where is my other lever here? What am I not seeing? Alright, let me finally take care of this, too. No. Okay. Oh, here we go. So, that's what we've been up to. That's what I've been up to. It's been real good. No, last week's preview was our last planned Magica Mithrin or Lamania preview. We're releasing next week. So, should be done with all of our previews at this point. I think the next Lamania cycle will look at the raid, because we'll presumably want to get the raid some previewing. But that'll be a little bit later this fall. Let me ask the question. Let me see what you said. Okay. Someone is asking, with us having to threaten to time out some posters on the forums recently, is there a plan to hold those that misuse the forum and or Discord in-game? Aren't the screen names connected to accounts? Yes, we do. It's very rare that we do it, but we do have the ability, if we need to. If you're maybe particularly creating troll account after troll account, if you're doing particularly bad harassment, it is possible, and it does happen occasionally, that we will discipline you inside of the game for your terrible activities on the forums. It doesn't happen often. Usually, for the most part, it doesn't. You know, you can be a jerk on the forums and get banned there and still be able to play inside of our game. But we do have that option, and we have had to utilize it occasionally. I would think that threatening to time someone out and then going immediately to a in-game ban is not the likely scenario. It would be a last case, or maybe a long-term case, is even more likely, where we would consider something like that. But it is possible. It is possible. It does happen very rarely. Very occasionally. I got the farts. Alright. That was not me. That was my character. I don't care if you believe me. Actually, I care very deeply that you believe me. Oh, I'm afeared. I'm afeared. I ain't twerking no good. Alright, so that was however many minutes that was. I got all 4 done. I'd say that was pretty good. Secular Squirrel had a dream last night that Weird Al Yankovic was running for president with the Hawk Tuah girl as his vice presidential running mate. I'd vote for Weird Al Yankovic for president. I think that's almost not even a political statement. Create a Department of Parody. Eventually, I'm probably going to go Scepter and Orb for my weapons, but at the moment I've somehow lost my... Sadly, I somehow lost the weapon I was using. I must have sold it. Alright, so now we're heading over to 3BC for a little bit. Yeah, I did actually get a little close there. Thankfully, I did not die in the Depths quests on stream. But that's what I get for not summoning my hirelings and not paying attention to my hotbar at the final boss fight. It's true, I could just try buyback in the shop, but I actually have a level 8 spellcasting implement that I think I'm probably going to end up using, so I'll probably just sort of do whatever and use this. Yeah. Alright, picked up the saga. Oops. Okay. So I would like to get some people on with me, maybe on Sarlona this weekend. I just to completely use you for your Bloody Boost XP. Because, I mean, who doesn't want more XP when you're trying to level up? I do.
You're awoken suddenly by a large crash and the sound of splintering
What
wood.
is preventing DDO from granting a 4th reincarnation for Iconics that frees up a non-native deity option? Nothing formally would prevent us from doing the work to do that kind of thing. I don't know that that would currently be the direction we'd want to utilize the resources in. Creating a new reincarnation just for the purpose of allowing an iconic to use a non-native deity. There are probably other ways that we could
Screams and calls to arms
open up
rise
deity
above
options if we wanted to go that route. There may be some lore and licensing concerns about, especially when it comes to Eberron versus Forgotten Realms, that we would have to pay attention to, but all that could be sorted out. I think mostly it's just, as with most things in game development, it really just comes down to time and resources. You've got 30,000 things you want to do. You can do 4 of them. Which 4 would you like to do?
Heroes have locked and barred the door to the decks above. You'll have to find the key. A sudden crash sounds loudly in the adjoining room, followed by a scream of pain. Before you lie the charred remains of the ship's second mate. A key is visible in his outstretched hand. As the door swings open, the cannon blasts subside, and you hit... You've reached the above decks. Another ship is docked next to yours.
I
with
do
its
think there might
gangplanks
be some
down.
licensing concerns if we were to, say, allow Eberron characters to worship
Pirates are boarding
specifically
your ship.
Forgotten
You're
Realms
under attack by
deities.
rogues.
And vice versa. But, you know, so we would not just be designing a system, but we would be designing the system restrictions as well. But that's all work that could be done if there was enough time and interest in doing that specific flavor of work. I've been playing on Wayfinder with my 12-year-old. We want to get them leveled up a little bit for Mythdraenor 2. Although I don't know that we're actually going to hit Mythdraenor at level 13 at this point. But I've been playing a favored soul that's a follower of Onatar, which is pretty funny. And that really is just about, because I've never used a Warhammer on my favorite soul before. So that's not really about like min-maxing or doing the best statistical option. That's just about, well, gosh, that's weird. Let's do that. And so that's what I've been playing on that character, is just seeing what a Warhammer like character is for a follower of Onatar. The answer is it's fine. There aren't many enough heroic warhammers, though. At least not that I have. More hairstyle options for deep gnome male characters. I think if we were going to do more hairstyle options, it would behoove us to do hairstyles that could be picked by just about anybody. So rather than just deep gnome specific hairstyles, I think if we were doing additional hairstyle work, it would be cool to just do a bunch that could fit on all sorts of different rigs. I actually think gnomes have quite a few hairstyle options. I don't know if they're really hurting for hair. I mean, anything could always use more, though. It would be fun. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying, do gnomes specifically need more hair? Why doesn't the lock icon lock everything on screen? Not specifically locking like the party group on the left. I don't know that I've got a good answer as to why it is that way. It's probably just a long-standing either bug or feature request, or it was a decision based on the assumption of people wanting to do X and you're not doing X. Like, I think you might want it all locked down, but what if... Or it could be probably related to the dynamic nature of the party roster filling and unfilling and trying to lock that down. That could be what's up. But I don't have a good answer for that. I don't actually know.
Out of a side hatch, a lumbering ogre emerges. Rug is here.
No, poor flower.
Rug drops to the deck of the ship with a giant thud.
Third. You want to be a Shatter Kai that can worship the blood of all? See, that's what I'm thinking about. That might be difficult, wouldn't it? Everyone starts bald and gets hair as you level up, so the people with the longest hair are the highest level. That's my kind of goofy. Okay. Well, we only have 5 minutes left, so I don't know that we have much time to do a full-on other quest. I'll see a wild magic surge that changes your hairstyle. That seems like a good idea to me. So you can see I'm basically just all in Wild Mage. We'll see what else I dip into, but I'm really just doing it for fun and to play it. Augments disappearing in pet collars is a very old bug that has been around a long time, and has been on our backlog to reconfigure for some time. Unfortunately, I think the bug fix is not to get augments to appear and disappear properly with pet armor. It's to rewrite pet armor in a way that allows it to function correctly. And there's a big difference between those two things. One is a bug fix, one is a creation of a entire feature. And that's where we are with the pet collars in particular, is they're so broken and they work so poorly in general that the only real viable solution in terms of time and effort is to redo that system at a very fundamental level, which means that it's going to take a systems developer's a significant enough chunk of a systems developer's time that we would need to consider what features we would not do in order to do that. And to date, it really hasn't come up as a priority. Not that it's not a priority, though. Not that we don't want to do it. It's just that the idea of fixing pet collars is big enough that the can keeps getting kicked. And we'll see where we end up on that. But at some point in the future, perhaps we could redo pet code in general, or at least get that working in a way that's more functional. Or just remove it as an option. That's the other thing we could do, is do you really need to be able to make your own collars and what have you? It's nice, but there may be other ways to be more elegant in a way that is more sustainable. It's not that it's too hard. You know, I don't think the difficulty is really the issue. It's the fact that it's a big enough feature request that it has to be prioritized. So I have a house rule where I use the hair dye every time I find one. I've always enjoyed doing that. It's been pretty fun. All right. Yeah, so it's 4:59. I guess we'll just sort of wrap it up a minute or so early here today. Thanks so much for watching Fridays at 4 on twitch.tv/DidioStream. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, I really appreciate you being here as well. Let me just real quick go through the rundown of our bonuses for the week, because we've got some really good ones. If I can just get to it. Yeah, our bonus days, so a reminder, 10% Heroic and Epic XP, 10% Guild Renown, +5 Treasure Hunter boost, +5% VIP XP, +1 Strength and Numbers, including raids, double Mysterious Remnants, and a Champion Hunter week. Also, I could mention that next Wednesday, I'm going to be a guest on the Tavern Talk podcast. I think that's Wednesday afternoon Eastern time. There's a thread on the forums about it where you can get more detail. But I'm going to be a podcast guest next week, and that should be a really fun time. We'll be talking about DDO and whatever else the guests there, or the hosts there, want to talk about. So I'll be doing that on Wednesday. We've got our Myth Drainer launch. Fingers crossed it all goes great. We'll have a bunch of info about it next week. Hope you have a great DDO weekend. Get all that stuff done, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.